Hi, welcome to the start of vlog number 10. First job for it is honing some Vauxhall valve guides out. I've got a Vauxhall XE cylinder head in off a kit car which needed some new bronze guides. I fitted the guides already, so unfortunately I didn't record that, so you can't see that. But they're in there ready. The next thing to do is to hone them to size. To do that, I've got some proper valve guide honing equipment, which I'll get out now. They use industrial diamond coated hones. So I do them on top of the engine honer for the honing oil. This is the kit here in this box. Can I open it? There we are. So the kit comes with all different size hones. So it goes from 4.9mm up to 9mm. This is the hone holder, which fits into a normal drill, and then I use the honing tank to use the honing oil to hone it. So what I'll do is I'll show you how I set it up. So this is the valve guide hone. Let me just put the camera down. This part of the tool here is the diamond industrial diamond hone, and then basically when it's fitted into the drill or into the holder, it pushes onto this, which then pushes the diamond in and out, so you can just adjust whatever tension you want on the guide until you get the right feel. The hone screws into the holder, and then it locates in on a keyway, and then you just lock that in on the screw like that, and then just screw it in to take any tension off it, and then offer it up like that. So that goes into the guide with no real resistance. So the next thing to do is to get one of each valve. That's the exhaust valve, which I've shot blasted already, refaced and cleaned up. Same with the inlet valve. So I'm going to do the inlet side first. So the first thing I do is just offer the valve up, and it just doesn't even fit. It's really tight because the guide isn't to size. So switch the hone on, and then that keeps the guides all lubricated, and it stops the hone from pulling. And then hold this to secure it. And we don't need to get carried away and try and do it all in one cut. It's better to make sure it's done correctly. So on this, it needs expanding because the valves still don't fit. So yeah, now it's starting to go to fit, but it's still really tight, so it's no good. So the valve now fits, albeit it's still a little bit too tight. So what I'll do is, now it's set on the setting that it's on, I'll run down the other 6 inlets. Okay, so that's all of the valve guides honed to the first size, just to get them, just to get it where the valve will fit in the guide. I can feel straight away it needs just a little bit more clearance. It's getting there. Yeah, one more turn on the hone and we should be there at that. So it's again on this, you can just move it out one turn. It puts a little bit more, not one full turn, one, when I say one turn I mean move it one division on this scale. Another quick check on the guide. Yeah, that feels about perfect now. So I'll just get the honing oil out the guide with a guide brush. Perfect. Another good test to do on the valve guides is something called a pop test. So all you do with that, put the valve in the valve guide, you put your finger on the back, and then if you hear that pop, that's sealing enough. This is the cylinder head that I was honing the valve guides on. I forgot to take the GoPro down when I cut the seats and gave it a reface, so I didn't get any footage of that unfortunately, but it's all ready for the customer now. The seats are cut, it's got new stem seals on it, the guides you watch me hone. I've given it a light reface to clean the head face up. It's been through the cleaner to get most of the dirt off it, and I've installed the valve springs and the collets. So that's all ready for the customer now. Flow testing and ultrasonic cleaning some injectors. They're for a company that I do a bit of work with, A1 Performance Products in Hartlepool. They've sent them down to be tested. They build race cars and supply overalls, crash helmets. So anybody needing any of that kind of stuff, look them up. They're great guys up there. So yeah. Right, going to the machine. This is my as new classic GDI injector tester. So the first thing to do is to just set it up to test these injectors. I always wind the pressure out just in case I've done GDIs and the pressure would be up at 7 bar instead of around 3 bar. So that's the first job, just to wind the pressure out. The last injectors I cleaned with some Jaguar injectors, that was really bad, so I've changed the ultrasonic because that was just destroyed. It was just rust in there really. First thing it's asking is how many injectors for, how long we want to test them for, 30 seconds, and then it's basically asking me to prime the injector system. So the first thing I will do, let me get this put down, is to fit the test adapters onto the back of the injector. Once I've done that, they then go into the tester up the top there. Put them onto the injector plug. So like I said, the first job is to prime the injector, and what I'll also do then is also set my my test pressure. So switch it on, set the test pressure. I'm going to test them at 3.5 bar. The next thing to test, it's a 60-second test and it's a leak test. So what this does is it runs the pump, but it doesn't fire the injector. So what I'm looking for here is any injector dribble off the needle. I'll pump a bit more pressure into it by hand by just pushing on here. And yeah, there's no leak from these at all, which is a good sign. The next test tests the impedance of the injectors. So these are all roughly the same impedance, which is a good sign. That basically tells us how strong the solenoid is. But what I can see, if the camera's picking it up, is injector number 1 and injector number 3, how I've got them here, the spray pattern is completely different to injector number 2 and injector number 4. So what I'll do with that is first of all make sure the test tubes are completely empty, is I will do a quick flow test at a fixed pressure setting. Sorry, it's a bit tricky doing it one-handed. So this is testing the injectors at 1666 RPM at that duty cycle over 30 seconds. Each one of these test tubes is individually calibrated, and another thing that I always look out for when testing injectors, move this better, is the way the injector penetrates the fluid. So as you can see, number 1 and number 3 really are penetrating in, where number 2 and number 4 is more of the spray pattern. One thing that is quite interesting there though, that's a 27-second run, and they all flow virtually the same. Number 3 is slightly different, so technically it's just a spray pattern thing here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little, these are quite big injectors, so I'm going to take a little bit of the pressure out of them and try and get a 30-second run out of them at 3 bar, not 3.5 bar. If not, then I'll just change the time that it's injecting for. So just back some pressure out of it. So that's it, 3 bar. We're up to 22 seconds now. It's getting quite close to the top on that one. There we are. So it managed to do a 30-second run. So I fill this form in for my customers. So right in here that we've done it at 3 bar, and then write the flow rates down. So we've got 120, 120, 117 and 120. Right, so after that what I always do is just check them at different engine speeds. So I'll start the machine, and then if I press these arrows up and down, that's 600 RPM. So this is running the same RPM but at different duty cycles. 2,500. That's 5,000 RPM. That's a different duty cycle. Same again. That's 10,000 RPM. And that's cranking. So what I'll do now is try and run them through the ultrasonic cleaner a few times, and try and improve it that way. So I'll record that in a sec. So that's the ultrasonic. The injectors are in there. They're being fired while the ultrasonic's cleaning. I'll run these twice. I'll run them at a slow speed and then I'll run them at a fast speed. Each cycle takes 10 minutes. So yep, I'll let that carry on and do its work. Right, so the injectors have been through the ultrasonic. I've loaded them back into the fuel rail to test them. They've been cleaned 3 times because number 3 injector, the spray pattern on that's still different. The other 3 are a lot better, a lot cleaner. And when they go into the test tubes and run for 30 seconds, it's improved the flow rate over all 4 of them, but it's still slightly different. You can see it how it's penetrated into the test fluid, and you'll also see it at the end of the figures. So all I've got to do now is take them out and bag them up and send them back to the customer. So that's them all bagged with a test sheet. Zach's ready to send them back for me.
Fun.
There we go, in there, ready. Next drop I've had come in is a Volvo cylinder head from some drifts, like banger drifting, but the water has corroded away the cylinder head here, here and here. So I'm just welding them up. I've welded these 2 bits up now. I've just got to weld that part and that part and then give it a skim. So I'll show you the end result. The Volvo head that I've welded up is now on the skimmer. So we'll see what that skims up like. Hopefully it'll be good around the firing ring area. I'll record the finish. Right, so I've skimmed over the cylinder head, taken 5 thou off it. I've got the welds flat, but this bit here I'm not very happy with. It's quite close to the firing ring and the weld hasn't really caught there, so I'm just going to grind that out and put a bit more weld on it. So I've been in re-welded that. The head's just coming onto its final cut. So there's a little mark in it there from the grinder, but I think that'll go on the final cut. The Volvo head is out the cleaner. It's all welded up in the places it needed it, which is there, there, there and there. It was a little bit warped, but it's all good now. So it's Wednesday morning. I'm just on my way to collect the powder coating of the Williams Clio rocker cover and front cover. So let's see what that looks like. I'm at the powder coaters. They're shot blasting at the minute, so I've been here 5 minutes and I don't think they can hear me. I'm going to keep waiting, but if you're around the Newbury area and you want really good quality shot blasting and powder coating, then AC shot blasting is the people to use. Craig really fair, gets everything done when he says he's going to get it done. Awesome service, so I'll sit here and keep waiting. Right, so I've been and got the powder coating back now. They eventually open the door after 20 minutes. It's a dark blue, so that's the timing belt cover for it. And that's the rocker cover for it. So this is for the Renault Clio Williams F7R engine. So I'll get them bits fitted in a bit and show you setting the cam timing on it as well, because I've got to do that. But yeah, really happy with that. Another good bit of work by Craig at A&C. Wednesday lunchtime, I've just had a knock at the door and it's my friend Brooke, who has brought me in some moonshine. Moonshine. That's the inner hillbilly in me. My mate Baz is here.
Howdy.
So yeah, we're gonna get smashed in the afternoon. So Mickey's just come in. Big Kev. We've nicked his lunchbox. Mickey's fault.
Not nothing to do with me.
Yeah, it is. It's all Mickey. So what we're gonna do is we're taking out everything. And we're going to put in a couple of diet meals. He can have Oriental chili soup.
There's a PG tip he can have.
He can have, yeah. Pearl barley risotto, PG tips. What else can we stick in there? What do you reckon, a cottage pie?
Yeah, if you've got a cottage pie. Is this stacks your food in here then?
A cottage pie.
Oh, it's all, yeah, okay.
Oh, should we put that in there? That thing you gave me?
Yeah. And some for afterwards.
And we're going to have a little drink in there for afterwards. Look at old Kevlar. I'm starving and all. I expect he'll share his lunchbox with me.
Andy, he's drinking.
Oh, he's drinking on the job. Sweet.
Oh, he's got a cottage pie in.
It's cottage pie.
Yeah, what are you doing on the roof? Look at these fuckers. What is it?
Well, we thought you put a bit of weight on some diet.
I've noticed you can't do your overalls up, Kev. You got to mix that with water. That's a tea bag.
What's this one?
That one they just warm up. And that's a water one and all.
That's the start of your main.
So enjoy. You got to enjoy that.
And that's for your afternoon.
I mean, I've got a bit of cake.
That's for your afternoon snort.
I've got a little bit of cake to eat.
Yeah,
Oi, mate.
I might. Do you want one of these sandwiches, Mickey?
I'm alright actually. They look a bit stale, don't they?
Oh, do they? Yeah.
They look it.
And then I've got 3 bars of chocolate.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah, we got the fucking
Bugger, what's it?
What's it? You've got to what's it?
Oh, and a follower.
He chams on them when he's hungry.